So I ask each of you to take a moment and consider this personally. Would you want a fuel farm in your backyard, in your community where your children play and your family sleeps, where you've invested your hard-earned money? Do the right thing for the people, for our neighborhoods, and for the future of Palm Coast. Say no to the fuel farm. It doesn't belong here, and deep down, we all know it. Thank you.
Flagler County's plan to buy 78 acres off US 1 for a 12.6 million gallon fuel farm faced intense backlash at yesterday's Flagler County Commission meeting, even after being pulled from the agenda. Dozens of Palm Coast residents urged the county commission to reject the project's proposed location, citing safety concerns, its proximity to homes, a water treatment plant, and a lack of firefighting resources. It wasn't just residents raising doubts. Flagler County Commissioner Leanne Pennington questioned the plan's safety, noting that Jacksonville fuel farms have had their share of fires.
With their fuel farms in Jacksonville, they've had 15 fires to date, and the last one took 115 hours to put out by pumping from St. Johns River. So when they look at placing areas with flammable material, very important that they look at places where the location is, where that heavy industrial is, that it be near large bodies of water, because they don't have the water to fight fuel fires just coming out of a tap. Away from a main roadway, one of the considerations they took into place was not near a major interstate. They would have had to close down I-10 to fight that fire, which if you think about US 1, that could be a consideration. And of course, away from current residents.
The $10 million state-funded project proposed by Belvedere Terminals remains in limbo as officials weigh alternative locations. Residents urged the county to reject the site and the risk. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Tuesday, April 8th. The Palm Coast City Council meets tonight at 6 o'clock for a workshop meeting at City Hall. Brittany Kershaw is the Communications and Marketing Director.
There are 3 items on the agenda for tonight, and the first one will be a discussion of the District 3 City Council vacancy. There were interviews for this position on April 1st, and 10 applicants came forward for interviews. So City Council will discuss next steps and narrow down those candidates to the top 3 or 4 to move forward, with the final appointment being next Tuesday on April 15th. Following that discussion, the Parks and Rec Department is going to discuss Ralph Carter Park. This was initiated from a City Council request, and the presentation on the park is going to include the importance of youth sports, current operations and maintenance efforts, proposed LED lighting upgrades, sports participation data, and overall field and park usage. And the final presentation will be by the Stormwater and Engineering Department, and they'll be talking about expanding parking at the Palm Coast Community Center and exploring reuse options for the original Fire Station 22. As always, there will be public comment at the beginning and end of the meeting, and the public is encouraged to come and participate in the meeting.
If you can't be there in person, watch the meeting live on the Flagler Radio YouTube channel or on the WNZF Facebook page. If you miss it, the meeting will be archived on both platforms. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you.
We're still getting new families to register on a monthly basis, maybe up to 60 or 70 families.
More families are depending on food pantries to make ends meet.
Pastor Charles Solano with Grace Community Food Pantry joining the Friday Free-for-All last week.
I just had a call this morning on the way over here. Somebody wants to start a food pantry for the local church. So we've seen that over the last several years because a lot of people want to do the right thing and help those that are in need. And they do it on a very limited basis, but it does create a lot of competition as to procuring the food. Mm-hmm. So we have been connected with 3 food banks for many, many years. And one way or another, farm to table, dealing with local farmers, or just through the bank, the food banking system, the food drives that the community create themselves. We make it happen.
Solano says they work with a network of local growers and producers.
During COVID, we had a participation from potato farmers, Holler and Green, another one, 2 or 3 in the Flagler area, and there's a lot of fruits that are still left in the ground. We are even allowed to go and glean broccoli fields, things of that nature, because what doesn't look good in the store is not going to sell. So we get most things like that.
If you or someone you know needs food, visit gracecommunityfoodpantry.org. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Daryl Moody.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.